Good day, Twala Bears. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Twala Bears. Today, we are going to discuss, are you ready to jump off that hamster wheel and retire here to the Philippines? And I am going to tell you a story that happened to me while I was still on the hamster wheel, babe. Mm-hmm. So, let's go back in time. I always have a good story, right? So, I have a good story for you guys. So let's go back in time to when I was ready to retire in 2010. So right before you retire, as you know, I was in the Navy, and right when you retire, they send you to a course. It's a transition course, and it gives you a lot of tips for transitioning to the civilian world because you've been in the military all these years, and all of a sudden you're going to transition to the real world and have to find a new job. You won't be able to fully retire because your retirement check a lot of times is not enough to cover your expenses for living. So you'll have to find a new job. So I was on that hamster wheel for 20 years. I was working and working and working. And finally, I got to this transition class. So it's like a 1 week, 2 week course. I can't remember, but they give you this course to transition into the real world. So I remember sitting in this class, and I was sitting in the back, and there was this gentleman sitting next to me. There must have been about 15 in the room, and most everybody is ready to retire. And when I saw this gentleman, I noticed that he didn't have any legs, and I didn't really know how to talk to him about that. And so he introduced himself to me, and we got to talking, and he told me he was excited. He asked me about what I was doing in the class, and I said I'm retiring after 20 years. And I asked him the same. I said, you're retiring also? He goes, oh yeah, I'm so excited. He goes, I can't wait to retire. And he actually started going into, yeah, you're probably wondering about my legs. Yeah, he goes, yeah, I was in Afghanistan and lost my legs, and but you know what was really cool? And he was so upbeat. And he told me, he's like, even, my legs, he mentioned to me, babe, he said, my legs are so expensive because he had these titanium legs, right? He said, my legs are so expensive. They're more than Lamborghinis. And so I just started laughing, right? He was just so upbeat. And then he told me even, I had an opportunity. There was this country singer and he signed my legs. And man, I was so excited when I finally got these legs. And he was so happy about his retirement because the military was going to retire him after his recuperation from his legs. And so I couldn't believe how upbeat this guy was. He was so excited for retirement. But at the same time, as I sat there, I felt so uneasy. I was not, I don't want to say I wasn't happy to retire, but I've been on this hamster wheel so long. I'd been working for 20 years, and finally retirement came. But then this thing hit me. What, Andrew? You have to work again. You don't have a job planned. You don't have, and maybe I should have did this before, but at the time it was kind of hard for the location I was at. So here's this guy sitting next to me. He didn't have any legs, but yet he was so upbeat about his situation, about retiring. He was so happy. And here I am. I had all my legs. I had my arms. I didn't have nothing missing. I was good. I was good to go. And here I was so unsure. It's like, man, here I am. This guy is so upbeat about retirement. And here I am. I finally have to get off the hamster wheel and get another job. And I didn't have one at the time. And I had offered to stay where I was at the time. I was working at Bethesda Naval Hospital, and I was offered a government job. But even then, it was not a for sure thing. And so my future was unsure. I didn't know what was going to happen in my life in the upcoming months and years. So, it's a big transition when you've been in the military for 20 years, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, Andrew, time to get off the hamster wheel and get on another hamster wheel. And so, it stuck with me about this gentleman that he was so upbeat about his retirement, even though, he had a disability. And I was like, man, I was so kind of like angry at myself. I was like, man, Andrew, here's this guy, he should be, feeling down and out, and he was complete opposite, and here I am feeling down and out. So I said that to say this. When is the time that you guys are going to decide to get off your hamster wheel and finally retire? Whether it be the Philippines or whether it be another country, we've heard of people succeeding in Mexico and a lot of Latin countries. So it may not just be the Philippines, but there is an option here that you can come to the Philippines to retire. And so I was thinking to myself, where do I go from that first hamster wheel? So after that, I ended up moving back to Hawaii, got another job, and then I got on another hamster wheel and I started working. And then after that hamster wheel for 5 years, I decided, enough's enough. And I finally retired again. And that was my final hamster wheel I had to go through. And so now here I am in the Philippines enjoying myself. So our question to you is, when is the time to jump off your hamster wheel? When is it time for you to finally call it quits? Where you just decide, I'm just going to retire, enjoy my life, travel, see the world. And so I started thinking about what is retirement? When do people retire normally, right? We know in America they retire at 62 years old. And sometimes some people wait till 67. And some people get their retirement early, as what I did in the military. But I was still working. I had to work. But like here in the Philippines, babe, when is normal retirement age here?
60 years old, you can retire.
60 years old, you could retire,
Yes.
huh? Wow, that's pretty young. And so, 62 in America. So,
But you have a choice to still work.
you have a choice to still work.
Yes. And then at the age of 65, then it's a compulsory retirement.
Meaning,
you have to retire at 65.
oh, forced
That's
retirement.
yes.
So,
That's for government.
so at 65, you have to retire. So they'll let you work from 60 to 65, and then and that's it. You're done.
Yes.
So, but they have that here in the Philippines. Also, I was going to ask you this. That is that culturally speaking, for here in the Philippines, there's other ways that Filipinos retire here, right? When it comes to that time.
Yeah, the traditional way is to have a lot of kids, and so when you grow old, your kids will take care of you.
Ah, you hear that? So culturally, here in the Philippines, the parents, they have their children, and then their hopes, and this was kind of like the older way, and even today, when the kids get older, they expect or they hope. They hope
and expect.
Hope and expect. It's a little bit of both. But their hope is that their children may be able to take care of them when they get older.
Yes, but nowadays, they are more educated.
Right.
Parents now are more educated. They put into their retirement.
Right.
They have retirement plans.
Right.
So when they retire, they're ready. They
Yes.
will not depend on their
Their
children anymore.
Right. Oh, that's true. So there are also parents who are looking out for their own retirements and making sure they're putting into funds.
Yes.
So that's how they do it here in the Philippines. And so what's holding you guys back? As you and I started talking about this earlier, I was thinking about a movie, one of my favorite movies, called Up. I don't know if any of you have ever seen this movie. It's an animated movie about an old man. And in the story, he's kind of down and out because it starts out where he grows old with his wife and his wife passes away. He's kind of depressed. He's kind of sad. And then he meets a little boy. He goes on an adventure. But before he meets the little boy, he's looking at a scrapbook of his wife. Yeah, his wife's name was Ellie. And when he gets to the end, I'm going to read this. This is what she says. He turns to the last page and he says, Ellie writes on a picture, she says, "Thanks for the adventure. Now go have a new one." So there you go. Don't stay on your hamster wheel. Get off it. Come to the Philippines and have a new adventure. Life is not over. And don't stay on your hamster wheel. Get off, come here to the Philippines and enjoy yourself. We're going to end this by saying, What's holding you back? Get off your hamster wheel and come here to the Philippines. Enjoy life, an exciting life, a different life. You'll never know till you try something new. Just like Ellie said, a new adventure. Come to the Philippines for a new adventure. Well, that's all we have for tonight. We hope you will like and subscribe to our videos. And we've been getting a lot of likes, but we'd like to see more subscriptions. Thank you guys for everything. We appreciate it. We hope you guys are having a great evening, and we wish you guys the best. Thank you. Bye-bye.